Hey guys, welcome to Wells MotoWorx. I'm Andy, and today I'll be showing you about vapor blasting. Hope you enjoy. Come on.
This is the degreasing step.
It is, yes. So before we put the cylinder in, I am going to tape up the actual nicker seal. So I haven't done any vapor blasting on the cylinder, so I'm not sure how nicker seal will hold up. But being the fact that it's an expensive process to have it redone, I'd rather play cautious and just taper up. The idea is to get out on an acreage, have a bigger shop, and then with that can then offer the same services, but hopefully take on some vendors as well, and sort of not just be a shop trying to make money, be a shop where you can build a social side to it as well, a community, and have a bit of a lounge area, all that sort of stuff.
Well, that's what we're working towards, man, in these videos, and we're only going up from here, so
that's it. That's the plan. So
you know what? Harley started in their garage too.
They did, and look at that clothing brand.
Yeah. Harley, Apple, all them guys. A lot of big guys started out with, with the basics, and look where they're at. So the main thing is just to keep working at it and don't stop.
So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with 60 psi, and then we give it the initial blast with the 60. We'll then give it a rinse off afterwards. So just over on the side here, this is a clean water rinse off. I actually made this myself. It's just a sluice box. The idea is just to stop media getting into the bottom, so it just slows down the process. And then we'll give it a rinse off, we'll check it. If we've missed any spots, then we'll go back, we'll re-hit them, and then once we've done that, we'll then drop the pressure down to about 40, give it another blast at 40, which will then start to really smooth out the finish. We'll reassess then, and then you drop the pressure down all the way to about 10 psi. And at that point you can spend anywhere from 20 minutes to 3 hours. Obviously the longer you spend, you can get a proper mirror finish if you really wanted to.
Damn me.
But that's not the way. I don't like that finish. I like to go back to OEM, if not in the slightly better. And that's also why I'm running aluminum oxide as well. So to get mirror finish with aluminum oxide is not going to happen. But we'll give it a blast and we'll see what we can get out of it.
All right, let's see what we got here.
Make sure we've got some air turned on. So we'll start off on my piston. That'll give us the best results, quickest. So, just to show you one example, that's how quick it cuts through.
right, Andy's took a little break here. Let's have a look. Look at that thing, just shiny. Look at already 100 times better. Yeah, look at that. Like half. Like look at that part from what it went to and what it is.
And what was that? It's probably about 7 minutes.
Yeah, no,
on the
even.
cylinder. So there's still a few areas which we've missed, so just on the inside of the ejector here, we've got a couple on the back side of here. So what I normally do is I'll go around with a Sharpie and then just draw a circle around the area which has still got issues which need to be hit, and then go back, and then once the Sharpie's disappeared, in theory you know that you've hit that area and it should be all good, and you can move on to the next step.
Perfect.
So I'll hit the trouble areas with this one. As you can see as well, the other big benefit with vapor blasting, one of my favourite, is actually there's no dust. No dust, no mist. Well, you get mist, sorry, but yeah, no dust.
Yeah,
So,
silica is bad for your lungs.
looking pretty good. One
It
little
is.
spot just here.
Look at that.
We'll be getting that with the next pass when we drop the PSIs.
I'm excited.
Yeah. And with this cylinder, actually, it looks better than new.
It does, yeah.
So, because it's not that dull, dusty looking finish.
Yeah. No, that's
So, and once it's dry as well, then the shine will really pop. But,
no, that's looking really good.
we could stop there, but why would we?
Whatever you think is the best is what we're going with.
So, yeah, no, we'll get it spruce up a bit more.
So now we're dropping the PSI, and this does what for us?
So the first stage is the higher PSIs for actually cutting. So that's what they call it. So you're cutting out all the dirt, all the impurities, all the issues. You drop down the PSIs to 40 PSI, give or take. And then with that, that's where you start doing the blending. So if you found that on the cutting, if you found that you spent too long in one spot, you can sort of see a noticeable difference in certain lights. So you do the blending, go over the whole piece, and then that's going to bring it all together. And then the final stage is the polishing stage. And that's where it comes down to personal preference and stuff like that.
Okay.
So now we're just refilling the buckets, because that's the after wash. It's going back through, refill the bottom. Once that's done, we can then
Continue.
throw it on to the next step. So in the meanwhile, because we're done with the power valves and we're done with the piston for now, so we'll throw these in the ultrasonic and
Okay.
start getting washed.
It's the ultrasonic machine. It does what? It vibrates water to a frequency.
That's it, and it just causes air bubbles, and the air bubbles are then sort of encouraged to travel through all the passageways, and then with this process it's going to help push out the sand and the grit from excess areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as your machine's cleaned and looked after, you can pretty much put anything in there.
Yeah. So we found out the phone does not like the ultrasonic cleaner. Look at the difference. Look at that.
We'll just blow some of the water off and get a better idea of it.
if you want to tell us a little bit about vapor blasting.
Yeah, so as you can see, so what we done was we gave it a very quick vapor blast just down one half of the engine, and the other half is just had a deep clean using, first was gasoline, then it was Varsol, and you can just tell the difference straight away. And if you're doing a restoration project or a big build, or even if you're just doing an engine build, it, for the sake of changing some bearings, to have these results, I mean, it speaks for itself in my eyes.
Yeah, it looks super good,
So,
super clean.
yeah.
It comes out better than factory most times because it takes
does.
the casting marks.
That's it. So it's such a delicate process, and for experiments, I have done plastics in there, motorcycle plastics. I've tried wood in the blaster as well. I've even tried brass, which we all know is a very soft material. So this is brass, and at a low PSI, it doesn't damage it. It just restores.
Yeah.
And this one, for comparison, that's how it started.
Oh, look at the difference.
So
Yeah, 100% night and day.
as I say, it's a very forgiving process. So, and then again, didn't mark up the side covers at all. So, and my favourite part is the spark plug. It's been blasted, and it's still left all the writing there, and just still able to read.
Yeah, like look at that.
So the process of vapor blasting is we're still using a media such as glass bead, but instead we're using water with the glass bead to actually cushion it. So the principle being the media itself doesn't touch the engine or the components. It's actually the water which does the deep clean, and the media is what roughs up the water. And the combination of the two, the slurry, is what pulls out all of the old contaminants and gives you the finish which we're looking at. As I say, it's very safe for all areas: plastics, woods, metals, brass, you name it. Whereas you can change your media, so you can run aluminum oxide in there, you can run different grades of glass bead. This is a comparison which we've got between wet blasting and dry blasting. The same pistons at the same engine, and you can tell with dry blasting it gives a very dull, powdery finish, and it marks when you touch it. You're also, with dry blasting, you're actually stripping away material. You're taking off layers of metal. So if you've got writing in here, you can actually damage it. So it's not good for restorations. So, whereas the wet blasting doesn't remove anything. So
yeah,
super clean finish, super smooth, smooths out the surface as well. So
what do you recommend the vapor blasting process though?
everything.
Everything.
So no, it does have its place. It's more of a refinishing than it is a requirement. So if you are doing an engine rebuild and you're not too worried about the final results, then maybe vapor blasting is not for you. But as I say, if you're willing to just pull out some transmission bearings and change a couple of extra seals, then you can have an engine looking brand new, as if it was just rolled out of the factory for your bike. I love the process. I don't force or upsell anyone to take it, but I do have these for display so people can make their own decision.
Yeah.
But,
well, yeah, and we'll be at the YEG Motorcycle Show, so if you want to stop in and see us there, you'll see Andy at his booth. We'll be right beside him, and
we'll have the engine there so you can see it in person.
Come and check it out.
Make of it. So.
All right, so we're here with Andy. We're going to talk a little bit and what he's got in the future for us.
Yeah. Well, first off, I'd like to say thank you for coming out and doing some filming. So hopefully everyone enjoys it. 2024, we do plan on doing a lot more riding this year. That's for sure. Got to get that saddle, wear that cover out.
Going to be at the races this year?
We plan to, yeah. So we're definitely going to try and get out to a few more races. We're sponsoring the AOT MX this year. So that's the Alberta's old-timers motocross scene. So we plan on getting out there, seeing some of you guys at some of the races, offering support when we can. Hopefully you guys have a stress-free season. You don't need us, but if you do, we'll be there. Other than that, we're just hoping that someone reaches out and has another big boy that we can take on.
Well, we got a KX that might come over here. Well, not might. It'll show its way over here. So we'll keep watching for that video. So what are some of the things you do here?
A complete power sports unit. So we will work on your ATVs, your lawn equipment, and definitely the bikes. We can go from just regular maintenance, routine servicing, engine, chassis, you name it. But then we'll take on the bigger jobs. We'll do your engine rebuilds, your full teardowns, full reassembles. Obviously, we can offer vapor blasting with it. And then suspension as well, that's not an issue. Wheel builds. Fortunate enough to build a good relationship with a couple of local guys, so we can offer powder coat if we do a bigger job. We can also offer Cerakote and some other work as well.
Okay.
And then key one as well is the restoration side.
Yeah. And you're looking to get in more towards dirt bikes?
Yes. So I mean, my biggest thing is if something interests me, and most stuff does.
Yeah.
If someone phones me up and sort of says, I took it to a shop and they can't figure it out, then I want to be the one to figure it out, because I'm then curious.
Figure it out, yeah.
That's it. So it gets me in some holes. I take in jobs I shouldn't. I may take in more than I should, but we get to the problem in the end, and it all works out well.
Yeah, I know. That's great, man. Where are you located?
So we're just in Spruce Grove. We're currently, as you can see, we're just currently operating from home at the moment. We are tight on space. We are humming and hawing about taking the next leap, but in doing so, it's going to take us away from being able to take in this stuff as frequently.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be higher overheads, so costs are going to go up and so on.
Yeah.
So for as long as possible, we're going to operate on the smallest footprint possible. Keep the costs down low, keep the hours better, keep it better for customers and ourselves, and then we can spend longer with the projects, the bigger builds, and still, keep the lights on and we're not having to money gouge.
Yeah, no, that's good. Keeping costs down is a big thing right now, especially in Canada.
Yeah.
It's taxes and everything else, It's
taxes on taxes.
All right, so if someone wants to get a hold of you, how do they do that?
They can reach out to us via social media. We do operate on Facebook and Insta. After meeting yourself and doing some talking, we are looking to do the YouTube route, and I guess I could polish off my dance moves for TikTok. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
That's the way we operate. Is we are sort of by appointment only, and that sort of way. We're not a drop-in shop. And again, it comes down to the size and the footprint we've got.
Yeah.
And I can't have 30 units here and be able to get everyone out efficiently.
Yeah.
Also on the other side, we do have a young family, and I want to ride as well at some point.
Yeah,
so,
you want to have some free time. So
That's
definitely give them a call before you plan on coming over or anything, and then work out a deal and get your stuff shined up.
Shined up, rebuilt. So yeah.
Rebuild. He does full engine rebuilds. We just watched vapor blasting, which is an awesome process.
Yeah.
And you name it.
Yeah, we've got a whole selection of special tools. We've got injector cleaners on site, so we can sort them out for you. All the suspension tools needed, road bikes, off-road bikes, you name it. So we're not biased.
Perfect.
So if it's vapor blast on, then the crustier the better.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so you see
Bring
the
it
best
in,
results.
Yeah.
And if you've got something from the 60s, bring it in. I'm not prejudiced. So
Really.
50s, 40s, 30s.
The vintage stuff's welcome here.
Oh yes, definitely.
Well, awesome, Andy. I appreciate all your work today, and can't wait to come over here and see it all happen again.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll see ya.